Okay, we're not going to talk about the elephant in the room. I feel like I'm still unpacking everything that happened from like 2016 to 2020. Today, I want to talk about lesser known celebrities who have ran for public office because there's a lot of them. We may make a few stray Kanye West jokes here and there.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
But there really are a lot of celebrities who have ran for public office. Like, I don't know what possesses a lot of these people to think that they are capable of running a government, but there's a lot more than you would think. If you're new here, hi, I'm Nikki, and I like to talk about history and current events. If that sounds interesting to you, then feel free to like and subscribe to my channel, but without further ado, let's get into it. You remember Kumar from Harold and Kumar? Well, he's first on this list, starting off strong. Kal Penn, the actor who plays Kumar, was actually a part of the Obama administration from like 2009 to 2011. He was actually the associate director of the White House Office of Public Engagement, and that just doesn't sound like it's a real thing to me, but I guess the Office of Public Engagement actually helps to create communication between the White House officials and the public, so kind of like an outreach program. I guess it's probably good publicity for the president to be reaching out to us commoners. In 2010, he took a brief pause from his position to film A Very Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas. I was expecting that movie to flop, but it didn't. It actually gathered $17 million in the box office, which is pretty cool. I was not expecting that. Okay, next on this list is Clint Eastwood. He wasn't actually like a governor or anything really like high up in office, but he was the mayor of a town called Carmel by the Sea in California in 1986. It sounds like he was kind of fed up with some of the legislation or like the administration there, and so he was like, yeah, I guess I'll just run for office, which is kind of cool. He was also head of the Parks and Rec Commission in 2001 in California, which is also pretty cool. Honestly, I find Clint Eastwood's involvement in public office to be like pretty respectable, you know? I was like, oh, he's just doing his thing, being a mayor of a little town and being the head of the Parks and Rec Commission. That's kind of cool. It seems more palatable for this to be happening than like just jumping straight to being president of the United States without any kind of prior experience or anything like that. So this next one is also kind of surprising, but also pretty commendable. I found out Jesse Ventura, the famous pro wrestler, was actually a mayor of a town in Minnesota and then also the governor of Minnesota for a while. And he held the respective offices for quite a long time. He was mayor of Brooklyn Park for 4 years from 1991 to 1995, and then he was governor of Minnesota from 1999 to 2003. Earning his title of governor was not easy though, because he didn't have a lot of like political experience, obviously. So he was really starting a grassroots kind of campaign and then really starting from like the bottom. And it's pretty cool because people liked him, so they voted for him. I'm sure his WWE success kind of helped him in this regard, but I don't know. I think that it's kind of cool that he could start from pretty much nothing and just build himself up from kind of his ideas. I also thought it was kind of cute because after he had won his campaign for governor, people had started making bumper stickers and t-shirts that said, "My governor can beat up your governor." Like, okay, relax, Minnesota. It's not like Jesse Ventura was like the ace in the hole, though. He did have a tendency to start making controversial remarks.
I don't want a Democrat in the boardroom, and I don't want a Republican in the bedroom. I'm a Navy SEAL. I don't get mad. I get even. I will veto any new tax that comes on my desk. There's not an excuse they can give me for it.
He did have a tendency to start making controversial remarks, which led to the media badgering his friends and family, and that kind of put a damper on his relationships with all of those folks. And that took a toll on him. He decided not to run for office again after his whole fiasco with being governor because the media would keep badgering his friends and family. Even though some of Jesse's remarks were controversial, he did have a lot of more progressive viewpoints that he was pushing, like in regards to gay marriage, abortion rights, and funding public education. Like I said, though, politician life was not for Jesse because of his controversial statements. He just couldn't handle the media overanalyzing everything he said. And that really led to his decision to not run for governor again. Sorry if you can hear that noise. It's my dog. She's scratching herself. Oh, she just had to give it a little shaky shake. I think a lot of celebrities turned politicians have the tendency to make controversial statements. Not thinking of anyone in particular here. So now I want to switch gears and talk about somebody who is not in the United States, actually, and that is Manny Pacquiao. You might know Manny Pacquiao as the famous MMA fighter, but Manny's from the Philippines, and so he went back to his home country to run for office, I guess. I guess for him, the natural next step from like boxing was to political office. It is worth noting that this man does it all, though. He was really interested in kind of expanding after his boxing career, so he started jumping into the Philippines equivalent of the NBA, and he played for like 10 games, but he wasn't really that great. So he was like, I'm quitting. Of course, he was a great boxer, like I had said, and he had defeated 22 lifetime champions. So that's great. And then he switched to being interested in public office in the Philippines, and he's been in public office since like 2010. He was a senator for the Philippines from 2016 to 2022. And then in 2022, he campaigned to be president of the Philippines, but he lost. After researching more about this, I'm kind of wondering if people just voted for him because he's famous. Because he's like had a lot of controversies, and it sounds like when he was senator, he was very flaky with even going to meetings for that. Like he had the lowest attendance rate out of all of the senators. And it's like, yeah, I know he's a boxer and he's doing other things, but also I think if you're going to commit yourself to being a like public servant, then you need to fully commit to it. Although I feel like probably most of the politicians that I can think of off the top of my head do not commit themselves fully to being a public servant. I want to take this opportunity to expand on my previous comments about him having some controversies, and I want to kind of explain what they are. So the first thing that I can remember reading was that there were some weird homosexuality comments. And so basically, Manny Pacquiao had said that people who were in same-sex marriages were behaving worse than animals because he said animals don't generally have same-sex mating, which is false. I don't think it's a very good reason for being opposed to same-sex marriage. He's also had some issues with taxes, I guess. So in 2013, the Philippine Bureau of Internal Revenue ordered a freeze on all of his bank accounts because he didn't pay $2.2 billion in taxes for earnings that he had made in his fights in the United States, which is like a staggering amount of money, right? All of the other controversies he's been in are more so like legal issues related to his time with boxing, and it seems smaller from my understanding than the other ones. But honestly, I really feel like the first two pieces of information that I had touched on were a bit more indicative of like him as a person, and yeah, I don't know if he's a politician I would necessarily vote for. Manny Pacquiao's time in public office seems kind of like the Donald Trump effect, honestly. I know this was like a really, really brief rundown of celebrities running for office, but I just thought it would be fun to talk about. Like, I don't know what keeps perplexing these people to be like, yes, I can go from acting or singing or whatever it is to now running a government. Like, I don't think that that's legit all the time. I feel like you need some kind of training. Although I feel like most of the politicians are not doing a great job as it is. Anyways, that was all I had for you on why celebrities keep running for public office. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what else you want me to talk about. I have a couple of ideas I know some people have been mentioning in the comments, which is super helpful. So I'm just going to keep cranking out whatever I can like find and whatever I want to talk about. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Definitely like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, but I will catch you in the next one. Bye.